Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another session of Paper One Revision Series. Good evening. Hello, YouTube babies. Good evening, everyone. Come fast, we can learn some Paper One. Good evening, Logesh. I can see your message here. Yes, good evening. How are you all? How are you two babies? How are you all? Are you learning? We have another 6 months in our hand for the next attempt. Like last time, those who didn't clear, the results came out. Those who didn't clear, those who were in the those who were near to the cutoff, those who got PhD eligibility should go for JRF now, and those who were just near to the JRF cutoff should also get JRF, and those who are near to the net cutoff, okay, just 2 marks, maybe like one question, we can make it up this time. Okay, so by more paper one learning and your subject concern learning, we can make it up this time. Okay, so this December. So we have 6 months now, not actually 6 months, 5 months for the December exam. So what we have to prepare. So from the basics, what we teach in paper one, as you see the paper one revision series, it's, I know, like many YouTube babies used to tell me that's very useful. So like we can study the in-depth concepts from here. Yeah, that's why every week we are conducting paper one revision series. Yes, hello Sahiba, I can see your message here in the chat box. Everyone, can we move on to the questions now? Today we are going to discuss about the teaching aptitude session of paper one. It's a very important topic. Now the pattern of the paper one. Actually, it's not so much. It's not entirely changed, but the questions, the length of the questions is being increased. So they increase the the depth in depth questions and size of the questions. Exactly, statement level questions. You have a lot to read and then answer. That's what it is happening regarding with paper two and also with paper one. So what we are going to do is like we'll see some type of questions regarding with the like basically from the PYQs. It's like PYQ based. Okay, not exact PYQ. It's PYQ based what we have. So can we move on to some questions and then can we discuss? Yes, are you ready, guys, on the YouTube to answer? It is teaching aptitude. It's a very important topic in the paper one part. It's a very important one. Yeah, I can see your chats here. I think you are ready to go for the questions and answers. Can be? Yes. So, first question: people draw diagrams for equal fractions. The specification comes under the objective of. So, is it knowledge? Is it is it application? Is it understanding or is it skill? What do you think that is? People draws diagrams for equal fractions. The specification comes under the objective of what? Like we have domains of cognitive learning of Bloom. There we learn the hierarchy, we learn the taxonomy. Okay, so the cognitive domain taxonomy we learn. There is knowledge, understanding, then application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation, all those things. So in where we have like the students draws diagrams for equal fractions. So they do diagrams. So where under which objective it comes? Is it knowledge or is it application or it is understanding or it is skill? What do you go with? Yes. The right answer is understanding. It's understanding. Okay. Okay, it's understanding. Knowledge, it's actually the basics, like maybe the recall thing that for knowledge. Here you understand. That's why you are able to draw diagrams for equal fractions, right? Going with the next question. It's an assertion reason one. But with the assertion reason question, we have a lot to read. Read the question twice or thrice, then go with the options and then finalize the options. Fine. An effective teacher must possess both content knowledge and pedagogical skills. Reason, only content knowledge is sufficient to ensure successful classroom learning. So by reading just the reason, you'll get the answers, I think, assertion and reason. So what do you think of the statements? A is true, R is false. A is false, R is true. Both A and R are true and both A and R are false. What do you think? Yeah, I have the options here as A and R. Yes, obviously it is correct. A is true and R is false, where when you read the reason itself, you know that content knowledge is sufficient to ensure successful classroom learning. No, obviously not. It's not like we should have a a holistic approach of learning. So then only there will be a successful learning or classroom learning. Okay. So here A is true and R is false is the option. And then going to the next one, which of the following are the most influential factors of learning? Government policy, motivation, aptitude, interest, physical facilities. So it's very easy that you read the question and then you get the answer. Which of the following are the most influential factors of learning? Obviously, you'll like learning. Government policy, will it come under the no influential factors of learning? Do you think? Motivation, does it comes? Motivation, aptitude, then interest, then physical facilities, all those things. You think it is B, B, C, D. That means motivation, aptitude, and interest. You think, okay? Let me go with that option. Yeah, that's correct only. Government policies, as you know, it's not the most influential factor. Maybe an influential factor is not a most one because if you go with the correct answer, and physical facilities too, it's not a very important factor or most influential factors in learning. Maybe it can be an influential factor, but the most influential factors among these are motivation, aptitude, and the interest. Okay. Coming to the next question. What should be the main objective of teaching? So among this, what should be the main objective of teaching? Is it to prepare students to pass the examination? Is it to dictate good notes? Is it to provide required information related to the subject? To develop thinking power of students. So what do you think the main objective of teaching is? By reading, teaching aptitude questions, by reading the questions and then options like twice or thrice, you can get the answer. If you have just an idea of teaching aptitude, like if you have the theoretical ideas or some like conceptual ideas, it is very easy to get answers in teaching aptitude. And it takes a little bit time to read the question, but never matters. You get 5 answers correct, right? So don't leave that. So you think that the D is correct option there to develop thinking power of students. Yeah. So we'll go with that option. That's perfectly correct. Prepares like all other things, like when you read or when you relate it with the objective of teaching, they are not at all the main objective of teaching. Prepare students to pass the examination, yeah, but it's not the main objective among them. To take good notes, no. Provide required information related to the subject, not only that. So the teaching means it is to develop the thinking power of students. Okay, right. The next question, we are going to the next one. In which level of teaching the learner gets an opportunity to discriminate at length between positive and negative exemplars of concepts? So positive and negative exemplars maybe can be related to examples also. So the learner gets an opportunity to discriminate between positive and negative examples of the concepts. So what do you think? In which level? Is it memory level, or is it understanding level, or is it reflective level, or is it autonomous development level? Which level do you think the learner gets an opportunity to discriminate at the positive and negative example? They understand between the positive and negative examples. I think I already told the answer from the clues given to you. It is in the understanding level, that is B2, option 2. That is understanding level. Like the first question also we have discussed, understanding. Okay, they are able to draw something related with they have learned, understand, they comprehended it. It's okay. So understanding level. Going to the next question, there is again assertion reason 1. Formative assessments are essential for promoting continuous learning. They provide data that teachers use to modify teaching strategies and address learning gaps. Of like they're asking that whether A and R are true and whether it is the correct explanation of A, whether R and both are true but R is not the correct explanation. Do you think A and R are true? Yeah, obviously, like when we read assertion, formative assessments are essential for promoting continuous learning. Obviously, formative assessments are for continuous learning. They are conducted during the course. Okay. And they provide data that teachers use to modify. Obviously, like when teachers conduct a formative assessment or formative evaluation, maybe like in a class of 30 students, all 30 like did not perform well, like that means that the teacher should change the teaching strategy. The problem is with the teacher or the teaching strategy. Like that's how the formative assessments are useful. It's not only useful for the students, it is also useful for the teachers too, where they can get an idea of how the teaching strategy works. Clear? So you believe that it's option A. Some option twos are also there because they think that is not the correct explanation. Let us look. Okay, it's actually the correct explanation. See, it promotes continuous learning. Why it promotes continuous learning? That means it is used to modify teaching strategies and address the learning gaps. So there is the formative assessments or evaluation addresses the learning gaps. So obviously the assertion is true regarding all it. The reason is the correct explanation regarding the continuous learning there also. So can we move on with the next question there? Which of the following statements are correct regarding learner-centered instruction or learner-centered teaching? Correct. And it is bold there. You should not go with incorrect regarding learner-centered. You should only go with the correct regarding learner-centered instruction. Learner-centered one. It prioritizes in student engagement and autonomy. It minimizes the role of teacher feedback. It often uses collaborative and discovery-based strategies and discourages differentiated instruction. So, like options are given A1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 1, 2 and 3. Which of the options are correct, guys, that you think? Student engagement and autonomy, is it there? Is it minimizes the role of teacher feedback? Is it in a learner-centered instruction? You can't think that in a learner-centered instruction, it minimizes the role of a teacher. No, not at all. That's not true, or that's not 100% is true. You can go with the answer. It's 1 and 3. Teacher feedback, obviously, in a learner-centered instruction, there is a chance for teacher feedback. See, as it is a learner-centered method, don't think that teacher does not have a role. Obviously, teacher have a role. Okay, so maybe a teacher acts as a facilitator there. See, it often uses collaborative and discovery-based strategies. Obviously, it will be in a collaborative method or a discovery-based method. It discourages differentiated instruction, never. As it is a learner-centered one, it promotes differentiated instruction. Differentiated means according to the individual differences in the classroom or in the teaching learning process. It encourages the learner-centered instruction, encourages the differentiated instruction. According to each learner's interest, the instruction is being done. Right. So that is 1 and 3 only will be the option. And we are going to the next question. Again, identify the correct statements about teaching as a profession. Okay. It involves systematic planning and reflective practices. It is a one-way transfer of knowledge. It includes ethical responsibility towards learners. It requires no ongoing professional development. So easily, I think you can eliminate 4. So, you have to identify the correct statement regarding teaching as a profession. So with the 4th option, it requires no ongoing professional development. It obviously needs ongoing professional development. Teachers, you want to be updated. It's a very need of the current era or trend. That's you need to be updated as the students are well updated than you. So there should be a professional development, ongoing professional development. So 4 you can easily eliminate. So C and D option won't come. Then you can go with A and B now. So which one you will choose? So you're choosing B. Yes, that's correct. 1 and 3. 2, it's not a one-way transfer of knowledge only. It's teaching as a profession. It's not a one-way transfer of knowledge. And it doesn't have anything to do with the profession. It's actually a like dialogic process where students and teacher interact. Students watch and listen to the videos of a lecture before coming to the class. It is an example of, is it lecture method, or is it flipped classroom, or is it programmed learning, or is it project method? Like this uh, learner-centered approach is very much important that these the questions related to this method is being asked in the PYQs. Clear? Lecture method is a lecture method. Obviously, it's not a lecture method. They watch and listen to the videos of lecture before coming to the class. So what is this actually? The strategy was introduced in 2007. Okay, this is an extra knowledge for you. Yeah, everybody's answering the correct option. It's flipped classroom. It's not program learning or project method. It's flipped the classroom. That means they watch the video before coming to the class and they work out, like they work out the questions or maybe the activities regarding with the videos that they have watched. That's it. Going with the next question. Which of the following is outside the purview of the characteristics of learning? That means outside the purview of, like, out of the box thingy, like how we can interpret learning in an outside the box context of learning, of characteristics of learning. It's like learning is a lifelong process. Learning is a temporary change in behavior. Learning is prompted by individual needs and learning is transferable. What do you think it is? Is it B? Okay. Okay. Good. Your answers are all correct only. Learning is a temporary change in behavior. Obviously, the behavioral change that happens in the the change in the behavior that's a temporary change in the behavior. It's the outside the preview of characteristics of learning. That is the correct answer here. Going with the next question. Yes, I can see your answers, guys. I'm very happy that you're telling the right answers. You are reading the question and taking time to answer. That's good. Very good. Do the same in the exam also. Diagnostic tests are conducted at the end of a course to assign grades. Okay. Summative assessments are used to evaluate cumulative learning achievements. Yeah. Which of the options do you think this is correct? Diagnostic test. Like diagnostic tests. What do you mean by diagnostic test? Like when you say, like when you go for like B.Ed and all, we have diagnostic test, achievement test, diagnostic test. So diagnostic is actually like it focuses upon a specific weak area, or it is to find out the students or learners' weak areas. It's not to assign grades. So from that you can have that one is false. Okay. So now we are going to the second one. If the second one is also false, we have both are false. But summative assessments are used to evaluate cumulative learning. Cumulative means at the end. That means after all, like what all learning objectives have achieved. So I think it's statement 2 is also correct. So 1 is false and 2 is true what we have. C, summative assessments are used to evaluate the cumulative learning achievements. So 1 is false and 2 is true. You can have clear. Next one. Which of the following features, which of the following are features of reflective teaching? Teacher analyzes their own practices. Yes. Students independently set learning goals. Pedagogy is adjusted based on feedback. It discourages changes in traditional methods. Which is that? Is it 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 1, 2 and 3, all of the above? Which of the following features of reflective teaching? Reflective means the teachers are reflecting, and then they are having a feedback on their own strategies. Okay, which options do you think that you have the right answers? You think it is 4, all of the above? Okay, let us go for the option. The answer, it is 1 and 3. Teacher analyzes their own practices. That's correct with the reflective teaching part. Students independently set learning goals. In reflective teaching part, students have nothing to do. It's like the teacher is evaluating the self. Okay, if self feedback is taken, so students independently set learning goals is not there. So pedagogy is adjusted based on feedback. That's correct. In reflective feedback teaching, as the feedbacks, as the teacher is getting a feedback on the teaching process, the pedagogy or the strategies are adjusted. It discourages change in traditional methods. No, it's not a feature of reflective teaching. We don't have nothing to do with traditional methods here. Okay, so going with the next one. Pedagogy means the subject, the content which is delivered. That's what pedagogy is. Which of the following are correct statements about learner diversity? Differentiated instruction supports diverse learners. Cultural backgrounds do not impact learning styles. Equity in education requires inclusive practices. All learners benefit equally from the same teaching method. What do you think the options are? 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 1, 2 and 3, and all of the above? Okay, correct statements about the learner diversity. So, do you think the differentiated instruction supports diverse learners? Okay, you think it's option 1, 1 and 3. Let's go with the option. Yeah, it's correct. Obviously, differentiated instruction supports diverse learners. Individual, according to the differential individual differences, if you are instructing or if you are giving a special care, it obviously supports the diverse learners. Cultural backgrounds do not impact learning styles. You cannot, like learner diversity, you cannot say that. That's a correct statement. It impacts. Equity in education requires inclusive practices. Obviously, inclusive education, that means including everyone. Average students, brilliant one, below average, everyone, differently able. So everyone should be there in the classroom, teaching learning process. So there should be an inclusive practice. All learners benefit equally from the same teaching method. Obviously not. Differentiated instruction should be there. According to the individual differences, they should be catered. The individual need should be catered. So 1 and 3 only is the correct statements. Among the following, which is an example of a democratic learning environment with respect to the classroom teaching learning process? Now, like it's you have a lot to read, but it's very easy that when you read the options, you can get the answer. It's very easy. The options are very easy. The teacher decides the nature of the experiment, nature of activities, time, place. No, it's obviously not a democratic environment. Students are instructed to follow strict discipline and to remain quiet during the whole teaching learning process. Obviously, no interaction is happening. So you cannot say that option 3 is with a democratic learning environment. The teacher is the center of all learning activities. No. So it's just like when you see a longer question or a bigger question, don't think that it's too tough. Just read the question and you can analyze and get the answer. Everybody is saying that option 1. Yeah, that's the correct answer. Students are provided with opportunities to investigate a problem, search for possible solutions, make observations, ask questions, etc. That is the correct answer. So that is the example of a democratic learning environment with respect to the classroom teaching learning process. Next question. As a teacher, select the best option to ensure your effective presence in the classroom. Uses of a peer command, making aggressive statement, adoption of well-established posture, being authoritarian. That means you should have an effective presence in the classroom. Is it by being authoritarian? Can you be can you make an effective presence, or it is uses of peer command, or is making aggressive statement? Obviously, by making aggressive statement, you cannot have an effective presence. It's not an effective presence. You're saying it is option 3. Okay, we'll go with option 3, adoption of well-established posture. Obviously, it is the best option among the options given to ensure an effective presence in the classroom. That's what. Okay. So do not think out of the box of the statements. Okay, what other why other options are not there? Just think the options here and then go with the options. Okay. So in this options, like out of the 4 options, the best option to ensure the effective presence is the adoption of well-established posture. Clear, not uses of peer command and all. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Learn very well. I'll be back with many, the other topics of paper 1, 2. We can learn together paper 1 and this December net. We can crack it.